Right now, the graduate population is about 25% of the entire university. It's huge. Last Friday, I met with the Graduate Student Association, which is the focal, it's like the student government of the undergrad population. I met with them, I met with the president, the vice president, and they were very welcoming. I really look forward, if I'm elected, I look forward to working with them. A part of student trustee is to represent the entire university, which includes the graduate student population. As student trustee, I would want to create some way to link them. We don't see a lot of graduate students around campus because they're very busy. It's a different demographic. And if we could somehow attract them to stay with the undergrad, to work with the undergrad, they have a lot of experience just because they're a few years older. So that would be a great thing for the university.
Ashley.
Again, Graduate Student Association, great organization for the grad students. I would look forward to working with them. Already, we've started with the Res D program being dismantled. That's going to be an interdisciplinary program within the university. A lot of grad students are in the program, and right now, I started personally working with them to try to handle the situation. Also, again, like, they're an enormous population at the school. As trustee, you need to represent every single student. I would have meetings on a regular basis. I would listen to their issues. I would work with them on absolutely anything that they wanted me to do. And I think that they would, they just need to be represented as well.
I think at this point I'll ask a question, beginning with you, Ashley, and then Mike. And this comes from my experience as a trustee, and I know in watching David over the last 2 years, he's been sitting in the chair at a time when some of these decisions had to be made that were not always popular. When you're on the Board of Trustees, you are asked to make decisions for the overall university. At the same time, you are elected representative of the students. Issues will come up that will challenge your, I don't want to call it loyalty, but your impression of your role as trustee. Are you trustee of the University of Massachusetts Lowell? Are you trustee of the students? You're a student, but you're a trustee. During the 2 years that David was trustee, issues of fees was very controversial. Students, David and the trustees from the other campuses found themselves in a situation of knowing the fiscal reality of the situation, knowing what the result of cutting would be, and at the same time knowing that students were having a hard time making ends meet. If you are in a position where your own reason and your own thought tells you that there may be a conflict between the interest of your students, the students you represent, and the university as a whole, how would you deal with it? And I think we start with Ashley.
Well, first and foremost, I would be a representative of the students of this university. We're a public institution for the students. Everything that we do, or the administration and me as trustee would do, would be in the students' best interest. The conflict of fees did come up. I know that there was a petition with 1,600 signatures. If there was such a thing that came up again, I would take that 1,600 signatures into consideration and vote that way. I think that even though there are other considerations to take in, it needs to be first and foremost student representation.
Thank you. Mike.
Thank you. I wanted to say, in terms of the difficult decisions, Dave was in a position, I think that arguably it was, I mean, out of every student here, they make decisions. The student trustee was it was the most difficult decision to make, I think, in that aspect. For me personally, when I found out that there was, or student government with me found out that there was a proposed fee increase of $1,500, I got on a bus with a few other senators and a few other people from the school. We woke up at 6:30 in the morning and we went down to Boston for the administrative and finance meeting. And I went there and I talked to the president, I talked to the chairman of the board, and just to get an aspect of what exactly we're dealing with. I also talked to students on campus because for me, it's not about just a petition, 1,600 signatures petitioning about something. I need to get both sides of the story. It's the most important thing. Especially for it's fiscal responsibility too for the university. If the health of the university is gravely at risk, it could mean going against the students. But primarily, as a student trustee, I would represent their decision, their thoughts.
Yes, Ashley. A minute, 2 minutes up.
Yeah, sorry. If the health of the university is severely at risk, I would think that an overall majority decision of the students would keep it from severing or making, I don't know what the word is, sorry, but like making it worse. I think that the best investment that the university can have is the students. So getting both sides of the story, I would obviously do. But overall, a majority decision of the students is necessary.
Thank you. We have time for one question from each of you. You both agreed to the format, so hopefully you thought this out ahead of time. And I believe that last question we started with, was it
Ashley?
Ashley to Mike to Ashley. Okay. So Mike, you have a question for Ashley, and Ashley, you have 3 minutes to answer.
Actually, a part of being an effective student trustee is to make sure that you lead off exactly where the current student trustee is now. There are projects in the work for fiscal year 2011 that won't be done for this year. So what projects that if you're involved in student government and you want to run for student trustee, you should, if you know of specific projects that the student trustee is currently working on, what are you going to do to take those and push them and move them forward to make sure they continue? Thank you.
One specific project that Dave is working on right now in pushing through the, I think it's the Faculty Senate, is the Student Bill of Rights. I've worked personally on it in student government, and I think it's a great document to have for the students at this school. It basically entails basic rights that we as students will have when dealing with the university and the administration at the university. Secondly, Dave is also working on alumni plates, which is a really good idea to keep alumni active and a part of this university and viable. And I just think that overall, Dave's relationship with the administration is very amiable and is very much what I want to keep as trustee. Good relationships and understanding and communication is the #1 importance on campus.
And you have 2 minutes to respond.
Thank you. Some of the projects that we're working on now, that Dave is working on now, one of the most important ones is the President Search Committee. We found out earlier this year that the current president is stepping down. So one of the most important, if one of us is elected, we would be on that committee. Finding a president is crucial to the development of the entire UMass system. So I'd say that's very, very important, and I would make sure that I was completely involved in the progress that they're making in that committee. Another one is the 2020 master plan of the university. This plan was finished in 2009, actually January 1st, January 2009.